All right, the heat wave in Southern California is over, so I finally have the energy and time to record my review for episode 2 of Kamen Rider Gavv. Um, Honestly, it's been just, dude, it's been like 110 degrees. It's been ridiculous to the point where it's like just so hot outside, and when I will work, I've just been like heat exhaustion. I don't work outside, but just existing out there has just, yeah, it's been bad. But I did get to finally, because it's cooled off enough, I have the PC running, generating all that electricity, and I had to rewatch the episode because I watched it right when the subs dropped over the weekend, late Saturday night, and then I was like, man, it's too hot, like I'll just record. I did get some other merch stuff in, so I've been working on those for videos. But what a great episode, guys. Like, honestly, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I there's a balance in this show right now, 2 episodes in, of like the darker tones, both thematically and visually, to the lighter side of things, in almost like a duality, so to speak, when we get things like Shoma eating snacks, being so happy, and this and that, and then you get that darker side where it's like, yeah, he's still a Granute, half Granute, and he's still considered a monster. And um this week we got our next form, which is the Zaku chips. And I think it's, I question how food works with, when he eats and what becomes a gochizo. We find out in this episode, just like the first episode, he's asleep, passed out outside, and our one of our female main characters, Amani, finds him, and she brings him back to his place, which, by the way, that like apartment complex building looks amazing. It looks like a fun, whimsical place to live. I would like to live there. It looks nice, small. I don't know how to keep all my collectibles, but it does look nice. And she helps him out, lets him take a shower, this and that, and gets him a bunch of food. And he has a bento box on the table and a bunch of snacks, and he loses his shit, so to speak, over potato chips. And even Amani points that out. And we got hinklings of more of Shoma's backstory with flashbacks and his mom, and some more stuff revealed, because Amani thinks this whole entire time, oh, he's just maybe he had a strict upbringing. And then we find out that his mom would tell him about all these snacks she would eat, and she'd be so happy about it, and it would make him smile, because we see a flashback and they're eating basically like puree in the Granute world. Also, I do like how the villains, their little group business is called Stomach Inc., and it's literally a business where they're turning humans into the dark treats, and they're all, and we get introduced to our main group of villains. It's going to take a bit before I learn all their names, honestly. I'm not going to lie to you. If you're new to the channel, I'm bad with names. If you've been around for a while and I've reviewed videos and episodes, you know that it takes me a bit to remember names, and I just make up nicknames for everybody. So we find out they want to start capturing higher end humans to bring out their premium line of dark treats. And I'm just like, a premium line, you say? I was like, this sounds like a certain company that will release stuff premium related, Bandai, of course. And I thought that was kind of neat, learning that it's actually like a company, and they're making these dark treats, and they're basically trying to ramp up production. And I was like, okay. We find out through all this, some of them are in the human world, some are still back in their Granute area, and they have to keep their human forms. So I was wondering how that all works, because when you see the stomach thing, when they're pulling out the little drive, that's when they turn into their Granute monster form. And also, we saw a quick belt that one of the main villains had, where he put the little gimmick thing in that the Granutes have, and instantly I'm like, yeah, that belt's there's gonna be a DX or a premium Bandai version of that getting released. Like, that's definitely gonna get, there'll be pre-orders for that open probably fairly soon. When it released, I don't know, but that's definitely gonna be for sale. The cool thing about this is I like that the armor form, and even now the weapons we learned, can be destroyed, because when we get our Zaku chip form. Oh, by the way, like there's some other stuff in between. Like I said, I don't do full recaps. We get introduced to Amani's friend, who they help move, and then we see she eventually gets captured by a monster. And the cool thing is, like, when Shoma confronts the monster, they're like, oh, he has a red Gavv. And I'm like, okay, so the Granute know about whatever this the henshin belt is. They know the red one that appears on his stomach. So apparently this is some sort of knowledge to all the Granutes. So I'm like, okay, is this the first time there's been someone who's half human, half Granute? Like what? Like there's a hinkling of that lore for this. There's, and I'm like, we got lore to the actual like transformation device itself. I was like, okay, I'm down for lore anytime. When I did my video going over the forms when they were like revealed and also the toys, I was not really sold on the Zaku chip form. But seeing the transformation of it, I like that he was in a clear plastic chip bag and chips were floating around him. The henshins are so good. Like there's something, it's like almost like not feral, but you could see the monster kind of side come out when he transforms. Like he hunches over and I'm like, all right. But the Zaku chip form was actually really cool. I really liked it. I thought it was neat that I was wondering because like the swords look so weird when we saw like the DX versions and everything announced, and basically the swords were breaking and regenerating while he first started fighting, and he finds out, oh, because it's chips. And they kept talking throughout the episode describing how the chips are. They're thin but crunchy, this and that. So he realizes he has to hit with a specific angle in order for the swords to do any damage. And there was one scene. Oh my god, there was one scene where basically they're fighting and Gavv disappears, and you're like, where'd he go? What's this all about? And then he's sitting up above him on like a ledge, and he's holding the sword in front of him, and then he gives him this ultimatum where he's like, so what's it gonna be? You give up the dark snacks or be destroyed by me. But there's something about the body language, the voice and stuff. I was like, oh shit. I was like, he ain't messing around. He's gonna fuck this dude up. And I thought that was great. And you know, good finish. I like that there was like little chips, like almost like razor leaf from the Pokemon move, but it was just little chips, and then a nice couple slashes, no rider kick or anything involving the chips. One thing though is I like the continuation 2 episodes in of Shoma being a monster, because he rescues Amani's friend, whose name I forgot, begins with an R, and basically she was scared of him too, saying he's a monster. And then, you know, we're kind of getting that whole like it brought up the duality of things, and I'm like, damn. I was like, I get that. One thing that's been going on that I really like, that's kind of like a subtle subplot going through, is Hanto, because in the first episode he had that drawing that was showing someone about a monster. Then thanks to social media, he was able to get in touch with a family that had a like close, like, I don't want to say, I'm trying not to do monster or alien puns, I'm really not, but a close encounter with the Granute, which he doesn't know the name of them, but the monster. And he goes to talk to them, and we find out it is Hajime and his mother from the first episode. And they kind of describe it, and you know, the mother's describing both the monsters, this and that, and then Hajime has to interject, like, no, one of them was trying to help me, this and that. And I was like, okay. And you know, he obviously plays dumb, like he doesn't have any more information, because obviously he knows, you know, he knows exactly what's going on. He knows Shoma, like. And one of the things we found out, which was really via flashbacks, is Hanto's mother was taken by a monster 18 years ago. And so the drawing, this whole entire time I thought was some drawing that he just, that's his drawing from when he was a kid. So he's been trying to find these monsters for 18 years. And all of a sudden I'm like, this is the dynamic of Shoma and Hanto down the road. Like there's some parallels. They both have a mother who is no longer in their life because of Granutes, for the two different, you know, reasons. And so I was like, okay. I was like, this is cool. And then, you know, obviously Hanto saw Gavv, you know, leaving the scene with his CG vehicle. And now he's happy because it kind of like justifies all the hunting and researching he's been doing for 18 years. And I'm like, this is neat. I like there's a lot of good subplots going on right now. Like, I want to know more about Stomach Inc. I want to know, like, are they making money selling the dark treats? Like, cause so far they've given dark treats to people who have provided capturing humans for them. Also, I was curious how he would free the humans. We saw it because after he defeated our monster, our Grand of the Week, he just basically used the chip sword to cut the weird stomach tongue wrapping that was around it, and they instantly are freed. So I was like, okay, because I was curious. Like, after first, I was like, well, how do you free him? You know, and so yeah, there's something about this show right now, and we're 2 episodes in, and you know me. Anytime I've said this, I try not to get myself overhyped, gassed up, because, you know, these are the episodes, starting a show, you're always going to go balls to the wall, and, you know, you want to hook people in and get them on board with the show. So I don't want to get like my hopes up, so to speak, with being like, this is the best, this is great. But I will say 2 episodes in this show, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I have no complaints. I also think it's very funny when he eats food. They came out of his shorts, like, and this and that, so it's like anytime he eats, more come out. One of the cool things was it was a subtle scene after he was done with the chip form and before he dehensioned, the Zaku chip, Gochizo flew out with like angel wings. I'm like, oh, they die after, and I'm like, okay. That's intriguing. That's a choice, honestly. But yeah, everything about this, really good episode. Also, I touched on it, and I'm sorry, like I'm trying to do like multiple things. I gotta go to work. I do think it's funny that eating the bento earlier on that I mentioned did not create a gochizo. So I'm under the assumption that regular like food does not create gochizos, and it's just snacks. So now that's where and I feel like that might be the parallel to the dark treats. So maybe, you know, treats are what does this, not real food like bentos and ramen and noodles, stuff like that. It has to be basically snacks, and maybe it's the processed sugar, maybe it's the salt. I don't know. I'm curious to find more of that down the road, but it's also one of the things where it's like, I won't lose sleep if we don't find out why regular food doesn't work. But yeah, that's it for the review. Just a quick review going to the episode. I really enjoyed it. Now that the heat wave is over, I can get these out in a timely manner every week, as long as we don't get another heat wave here, because, dude, it was up to like 113, and I was like, no, I don't like that. I went to the beach. I was hanging out. I was like, nope, I cannot. I was like, nope, I need to cool off. I need to relax for a bit, you know, and the summer's winding down. So it's like, yeah, that's why. But let me know in the comments about what you thought. I'm really curious where we're going to go from here, and more of the story, learning more about Stomach Inc. and its members and learning their names, because I don't take notes. But that being said, I thank you guys for watching. Don't forget the subscribe button, like the video. I've got some more toy stuff coming up soon, some more Gavv toys coming in, and another by the end of next week. Thank you to everyone who already checked out my other Gavv reviews, as well as some of the other toy stuff I've been posting. I appreciate all of you. I thank you for watching, and that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one.